Certain beautiful places are perfect for some, but might not perfect for others. There is no doubt the world is comprised of amazing, astounding places. While every country on the planet has its own gem, some countries are blessed more than others in terms of attractions, or maybe some countries market their tourism vigorously than others. The majority of these countries and islands would attract millions of tourists every year, who visit to marvel at both natural and man-made landmarks within their borders. So let's get into this ultimate list of beautiful places around the world. These are some places that you won't believe actually exist. Grand Canyon, USA. Attracting millions of visitors every year, the Grand Canyon is one of the greatest tourist attractions in the United States. Located in northern Arizona, this massive natural wonder was carved by the Colorado River over a period of several million years, and now measures 277 miles long, over a mile deep and up to 18 miles wide. It is not the deepest or the longest canyon in the world, but the overwhelming size and colorful landscape offers visitor vistas that are hard to match. Managed and protected by the Grand Canyon National Park, the Grand Canyon is contained within the national park, as well as within the Hualapai and Havasupai Indian reservations. Awe-inspiring landscapes, wildlife viewing, historic sites and adventurous activities are just a few of the reasons that make the Grand Canyon one of the world's most famous natural wonders. One of the most popular attractions in the canyon is Havasu Falls, a spectacular waterfall that plummets 120 feet into a natural swimming pool of turquoise water. Other sights and experiences opportunities in the canyon include whitewater rafting, jeep tours, helicopter rides and the Skywalk, a glass sightseeing structure extending 4,000 feet over the rim of the Grand Canyon. The Forbidden City and the Imperial Palace, Beijing. China's largest and most important building, the Forbidden City, also known as the Imperial Palace, is situated in the very heart of Beijing, and is a must-see when visiting the country. Started during the Yuan dynasty between 1271 and 1368. Much of the complex seen today was built between 1406 and 1420 as the residence of 24 Ming and Qing emperors, whose presence forbade the entry of anyone other than the imperial family and their courtesans. Covering some 720,000 square meters and protected by a 10-meter high wall. With watchtowers and a wide moat, this massive complex consists of areas set aside for ceremonial and administrative purposes, as well as a private residence used by the emperor. While it can take many hours to see everything, highlights include the 5 white marble Golden River bridges, the Hall of Supreme Harmony, a 35-meter tall building housing the imperial throne, the exquisite Emperor's Banquet Hall, the Hall of Preserving Harmony, and the Palace Museum, with its large collection of art and artifacts from the Ming and Qing dynasties, to name but a few. Other important attractions in the vicinity of the Imperial Palace include famous Tiananmen Square and the Temple of Heaven, one of the country's most important religious sites, which dates back to the 15th century. Bali, Indonesia. Bali is one of the most beautiful islands of Indonesia and has so much diversity to offer. From beautiful, black sand beaches to lush green rice fields, beautiful temples, big waterfalls and the impressive volcanoes, such as the Mount Batur and Mount Agung. Bali is a little paradise in the Indian Ocean. And super Instagrammable. Whether you go for a coffee in a cute cafe, stay in a fancy bamboo bungalow, or watch the sunrise on top of the Mount Batur volcano, everything is just so aesthetically pleasing in Bali. Some of the highlights and must-sees in Bali are the impressive waterfalls, such as Sekumpul Waterfall, Taibumana Waterfall and Banyumala Waterfall. But also the famous Tigalalong rice fields, or the Jadalaur rice fields. Don't forget to experience the local culture in one of the beautiful and photogenic temples on the island. And if you want to swing above rice fields or a waterfall, then your dream can come true in Bali. Prague, Czech Republic. Prague, the fairy tale city that will capture your heart at any season. Located in the heart of Europe, it is one of the most famous and beautiful cities in the world. The city's 9 hills are situated on the bank of the Vltava River, offering very picturesque views, at the same time placing the city in the immediate danger of a flood. The territory of the modern Prague was settled as early as 4000 BC, but the city was founded in 9th century when the first wooden fortifications and moat were built. In year 965 travelers described Prague as a city of stone and limestone, and the richest marketplace. Structures built in medieval times add a touch of mystery. Add to it a series of picturesque bridges across the Vltava River, and the many spires and towers on Prague's horizon. It's a clear winning recipe for a magical experience. Sightseeing is, of course, the top thing to do in Prague. There are many unique architectural landmarks in Prague that survive to this day: Powder Tower, medieval Vyšehrad Fort, Old Town Square, Jewish Quarter, Charles Bridge, and so on. The famous Prague Castle is the biggest presidential residence in the world, and, according to some sources, the biggest castle in the world. And there's just so much else to explore. Bora Bora, French Polynesia. Bora Bora, in French Polynesia, is impossibly beautiful. It is fantasy island come to life. It is every tropical postcard you've ever seen, but in 3 dimensions. Craggy, jungle-covered volcanic slopes jut dramatically out of the South Pacific, surrounded by azure lagoons filled with the clearest waters you could ever see. A halo of coral reefs protects the island and ensures endless, abundant sea life. It's like a movie set. Really. And it is popular. As you make your way around the tiny island, you find it peppered with thatch-roofed villas, supported on posts directly over the crystal waters. Bora Bora is magical and mesmerizing, the fusion of Mount Paia and Mount Otomanu's volcanic peaks and a lagoon, mixed with multicolors of sapphire, indigo and turquoise symbolizes paradise. And if that is not enough to stun you, the island is encircled with palm-smothered motis. It is a dream destination. Just like the name itself, Bora Bora sounds enticing, soothing, and romantic. Ia, Santorini, Greece. Located on top of a cliff with a spectacular view of the Palia volcano, Nia Kameni, and the island of Thracia, Ia is the most popular and arguably the most beautiful of all the picturesque villages of the Greek island of Santorini. Only about 11 kilometers from Fira, on the north of the island, Ia will charm you with its traditional stone houses lining the narrow streets, breathtaking blue-domed churches, and sun-baked verandas. While the village has its share of taverns, souvenir shops, and cafes, Ia is more quiet and laid-back than busy Fira, and most people enjoy its quaint beauty by slowly exploring its narrow streets. Stroll through the village's small port of Amoudi by descending 300 steps down the cliff, or visit colorful galleries showcasing art from the many artists who fell in love with the village and made it their home. Ia and Santorini is considered by many one of the prettiest places in the world. Kauai, Hawaii, USA. Kauai is the northernmost of the Hawaiian Islands, situated in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It might not be the first island tourists think to visit, but it is undoubtedly one of the most Instagrammable destinations on Earth. Kauai has earned the nickname of the Garden Island because so much of the island is covered with jungle. In fact, the center of the island is one of the wettest places on the planet. To see the true beauty of Kauai, however, you will need to take a helicopter or boat tour. This is the only way to see and experience the iconic Na'apali coast, which you will recognize from many Hollywood movies because of its stunning, untouched beauty. All of the towns on Kauai run along the east coast, from Princeville in the north, to Koloa in the south. They each have a different flavor, but it takes at most 2 hours with traffic to traverse them all, so there is no wrong place to stay when you visit the beautiful Garden Isle. El Nido, Palawan. El Nido, located in Palawan, Philippines, is a gem known for its white sand beaches, coral reefs, and as the Bukit Archipelago. The jagged and expansive views of Bukit Bay and its neighboring islands such as Cadlao Island and Helicopter Island are absolutely breathtaking. There's quite a lot of adventuring to do in and around El Nido. You could book an island hopping tour that can last between a day or a few, or you could also zipline across to Peldet Island if you're not afraid of heights. Other options include renting a stand-up paddle boat, or snorkeling with turtles. If you're lazy, you can just opt to lounge at a beach bar whilst watching the tide rise. You'll also see large grills with fresh local fish and seafood, as well as more sophisticated eateries. Just keep in mind that El Nido is fast growing to the demands of tourism, so be mindful of your actions and the impact they might have. Support genuine, local businesses and keep your ecological footprint minimal. Other than that, don't forget to soak in the sun and the spirit of El Nido. Krabi, Thailand. Krabi is the perfect holiday destination for those looking for a relaxing area in southern Thailand. The province, located between Phang Nga and Trang, features stunning scenery both inland and at sea. With over 150 islands off its 150 kilometers long coastline, many of them featuring fantastic white sand beaches and turquoise waters, a jungle-covered interior, towering limestone cliffs, caves, waterfalls and exotic wildlife. Krabi, a great selection of natural assets that offer its visitors a wide array of leisure activities for the whole family. Island hopping, snorkeling, rock climbing, sea kayaking, jungle trekking and scuba diving, are among the most popular occupations that can be enjoyed while on holiday in Krabi. From its most prominent destinations, Ao Nang, Railay, Phi Phi Islands and Koh Lanta, to its lesser-known areas, Ao Luk, Ao Nam Mao or Ao Thalan, to name just a few, the province of Krabi is less developed and crowded than Phuket, more laid-back than Koh Samui, and just 80 minutes by air from Bangkok. With a range of accommodation from budget to deluxe, this idyllic province really is the ultimate destination. Compiled by people who live here, it introduces hotels, tours, beaches, islands, activities, restaurants and all that you need to organize your next vacation in Krabi. Kyoto, Japan. Kyoto is one of the most stunning cities in Japan. Located in the Kansai region on the island of Honshu, it used to be Japan's capital city and the emperor's residence from 794 until 1868. Because of this past, Kyoto is an historical gem, and that's one of the reasons why it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Kyoto features countless of Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines. There are over 1,600 of them. Wandering in the streets of the district of Gion will allow you to enjoy the beauty of the traditional wooden houses. But you also might spot a few geishas, those highly skilled famous Japanese entertainers. Higashiyama is another beautiful typical Japanese district of Kyoto to walk in. Additionally, you can go to the wonderful Fushimi Inari Taisha Shrine. In this temple you will find an impressive path with hundreds of traditional torii gates dating from 711. Another original place that worth the visit is the bamboo forest. In Arashiyama Bamboo Grove you will be able to walk in the middle of soaring bamboo stalks. Some of them are up to 30 meters high. Last but not least, you can admire King Kikuji, aka the Golden Pavilion. This Zen temple covered in gold overlooking a large pond is fantastic. So there you have it. We listed 10 of the most beautiful places. We know this list could go on and on forever, because our planet has so much beauty to be shared, and if you were still in doubt whether you should plan a visit, we hope that we were able to help you make up your mind. What's your favorite tourist spot? Do you have any recommendations? Let us know in the comments section. To stay up to date with our latest videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Cheers!